Okay, a lot of people might disagree on this, but here's the thing. Today's phones are at a point where massive changes doesn't mean massive changes anymore. They are very minor changes compared to what we had back in 2018 or 2017. Because from S7 to S8, it was a massive jump. S9 to S10 Plus, it was a massive jump. But that's not gonna repeat anymore. For example, the Note 20 Ultra is still as beautiful as the S23 Ultra or S24 Ultra even. So what the S25 Ultra could be? Well, Samsung has thought differently this time. They did exactly what they did with the foldables. If you look at the Z Fold 5 and Z Fold 6, you will see the obvious change, the squared up edges. And that's the same thing coming to the next Ultra, the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, in terms of looks though, a lot of people might say, oh yeah, I like the pointed looks. It's not very far off, but at the same time, it's not exactly that. Certain people really prefer the pointy corners. I do, but I also like the fact that it is not going all the way rounded ones just like the Galaxy S23 Plus or S24 Plus. Not like that. So it's somewhere in between. If I have to give you a proper example of it, then maybe a Sony Xperia would do the job, or maybe the Nokia Lumia 930 Windows Phone might give you the same answer. The pointy corners, but they're not as pointy as the S24 Ultra or S22 Ultra or 3 Ultra. So it's kind of like a preference at this point. You might like it or you might not. But at the same time, you're gonna lose definitely the square screen. That's for sure, because the bezels are going to be thinner. The side frame is going to be a much more upgraded one. It's going to be grade 4 or grade 5 titanium compared to grade 2 titanium used on the S24 Ultra. That means it's much more stronger, much more better, but also much more lighter. But to make the screen flat, the S24 Ultra went from all the way 77.9mm of the S22 Ultra to, or if you compare it with S23 Ultra, 78.1mm to all the way 79mm. Which clearly means that phone feels much more wider. But at the same time, the screen to body ratio actually went down, 88.5 down from 89.9 or 90.2 of the S22 Ultra. So you see what I'm trying to say. But if you look at the screen, it's actually 72.3mm wide. So rest of it is the bezels and also the titanium frame, which is curved. In this phone, it's going to be flat. It's going to be much more thinner, and the bezels are going to be even thinner. So now it's going to be 77.6mm, which is even more thinner than the S22 Ultra, while still providing you a bigger screen in the form of a 6.86-inch screen rather than 6.79 of the S24 Ultra. But these on paper looks minor changes until you hold it in your hands. That's where you will see differences. But that doesn't mean you should upgrade from the S24 Ultra to S25 Ultra just because of that. No. Because I still think the Note 20 Ultra is still a very beautiful phone and very usable phone, even to this date. So in that specific scenario, I was thinking if they would have done the same thing to the Plus model, then that would have boosted much more sales of the Plus model rather than making that phone more curvy, rounded, and not providing it as much upgrade over the S base model. But definitely do tell me in the comments, do you really like the new look of the S25 Ultra? I was hoping for something else, but we got something else. But the thing is, it's much more comfortable for sure, but I'm gonna still miss the pointy corners, and certain people will definitely do. So I don't know what I feel about it. Kind of mixed feelings, but you're getting much more screen realistic comparatively if you talk about the screen to body ratio. Also, Ice Universe says that this phone is gonna be a heck of a slim phone with almost similar battery capacity as the S24 Ultra, which might provide a very good battery life. But do you really want slimmer phones, or do you want thicker phones like me with bigger batteries? I'm like 5,500 is a better deal than having a slimmer phone that is slimmer than 8.6mm of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But one thing is that it will weigh much less, 220 gram or less than that. But then we have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, a 3nm Orion core based system on a chip or SoC. Now this is going to be a big jump. Like, it's better by 35% in the single core department and 30% in the multi-core department compared to 8 Gen 3, which is already great performing chipset. So the chipset performance is going to be crazy thing. For 4-5 years, definitely you're going to be fine with it. And it will come with a 2+6 configuration we have seen in the Geekbench test. And the scores are not the final, but they are already so good. 2 prime cores running at 4.09 GHz, like this is an insane number on a smartphone. And 6 performance cores running at 2.78 GHz. So definitely very interesting chipset from Qualcomm. But one con definitely is going to be the Android operating system in this case. Maybe Samsung will in other ways take advantage of the whole power in it. Aside from these two things, like the design, display, and the chipset, there are going to be so many other changes too, but we will slowly going to get to know about them. But one big change is also coming is in the cameras. The ultra wide angle camera and the 3x teleporter zoom camera both going to be 50 megapixels. So it's going to be much more capable system than what it was since the S21 Ultra. But the main camera is going to be identical. We got leaks about bigger sensor size, but maybe that's not coming. Now, we had heard in the past that the sensor size is probably going to be bigger than what it is on the current model, but those are something that we will keep an eye on, and I will definitely let you guys know. Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you really like the whole design, or are you totally fine with it, or you're totally against it?
And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website, a link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.